Adelaide and Sydney have been involved in 4 of the previous ones. He'll be the first to win this trophy twice. The team news: one change for the Reds. Mirko Boland has recovered from a hip injury and starts, with Ken Ilso relegated to the bench. Baba Diawara, though, hasn't made it, so Ben Halloran will again play as the central striker. Only Isaias and Michael Morone remain from the Reds' 2014 success. Nikola Mileusnic, though, is back on the bench. He scored in last year's final against Sydney. As for the Sky Blues, an unchanged 11 from the team that started against the Wanderers at the weekend. Paolo Retre continues to deputise for the unlucky Sim de Jong. Adam Lafondra looking to continue a record that's seen him score in every game he's played for the club so far. A run that, of course, included that late equaliser here in round 1. Danny De Silva is back on the pine after injuring his hamstring 7 weeks ago. A lovely, mild evening in the city of churches, and the pitch as good as ever. Adelaide's kick us off. The 2018 FFA Cup final is up and running. It is rather difficult to pick a winner, but I'm going to ask my co-commentator Andy Harper to do so anyway. Good to see you, Harper.
Yeah, Simon, great to be here. This is a great stadium. This has been the scene of some great nights in the history of Australian football, going way back. And this is, I'm sure, going to be another one of those. I can't see much between the teams for different reasons. I think Sydney's quality could just get them across the line. And the test for Adelaide is if they can match what they did round 1 physically, and then just find that extra bit of concentration to take it one step further.
That's more to do, of course, with the lack of recognised strikers for Adelaide at the moment. Blackwood and Diawara injured. Stamatolopoulos away with the under-19s. Now here's a chance for Craig Goodwin to stretch his legs. Strain is in position. And Brandon O'Neill sees it behind.
Again, more required, to be brutally honest. Craig Goodwin, high-quality player.
Third quarter of the match, all with the home team. Isaias gives the signal. Again, they work it short. Goodwin away by Job van der Linden. Isaias again picking it up in the deep. Now with Leah. Still plenty forward for the Reds. Redmayne comes a long way and gathers the ball on the second attempt.
That's good goalkeeping from Andrew Redmayne.
Zulo. Ninkovic happy to use his teammate as a decoy. And he was checked off the ball by Isaias, who doesn't agree with that decision. Free kick, Sydney. Just left his body in the way, didn't he, Isaias, and made sure that Ninkovic couldn't make further ground. Not quite too sure what he's complaining about.
No. And Ninkovic made quite sure that the referee saw what was going on. The free kick, a fair one, nevertheless.
High defensive line for the Reds. Zulo towards the back post. It's found its way through for Wilkinson. Van der Linden didn't even bother jumping. Lafondra trying to return it. Is that a cross or a shot? Only he will know. What shot? Here's a goal kick. There they are, the Red Army. Long throw launched off the head of Elsie. Rattray first to the loose ball. Another throw in for Sydney, who are having a good little spell here. Ryan Grant just dangling the mullet into the crowd and then launching it long towards Lafondra, who helped it on. And Brosk, well, a good metre or two away from making what would have been the crucial touch.
Sydney, ball over for Strain was misdirected. Now Adelaide are chasing again. Sort of the double whammy. You don't make the most of the attacking opportunity you have, and then the giveaway puts you back under pressure, which is where they find themselves.
A lot for Sydney is coming down this right flank through Ryan Grant, who again slips it beyond Scott Galloway for Rettray in towards Nikovic, who was just waiting to pull the trigger. Zullo beaten in the air by Strain, and now Adelaide could perhaps launch the counter. Halloran threads it through for Isaias, who has a little glance around him just to see who's within range. Square ball for Boland. Sydney FC now back in numbers defensively. And again, that little window of opportunity, Andy, for Adelaide was slammed shut very quickly.
Sure, well recovered by Sydney, but Adelaide are enjoying a little bit of time on the ball.
Overly physical challenge by O'Neill and Strain, who exchange pleasantries on the way through. Give him a Ferrell thump in the back, and then a little bit of follow through as well. And a shirt front in response by Ryan Strain. He's there again. Brandon O'Neill digging away the ball, this time with Boland. Adelaide still have it, and down has gone Craig Goodwin behind play, and Jared Gillett has spotted it and says free kick for the home side.
Well, good position. Ryan Grant says it was accidental contact. Jared Gillett might have awarded a free kick against Boland for locking the ball in his feet. This is just the back end of that, and that's well adjudicated. Ryan Grant can claim innocence there, but he took out Craig Goodwin, and this is Goodwin range, you'd reckon?
Well, it's also Isaias' range, of course, as we know from the 2016 Grand Final. Ryan Grant escapes any further sanction for that foul on Goodwin. Who's it to be? The Spaniard or the local boy? It is the side that favours Craig Goodwin, you'd fancy. Let's see. Could be a key moment. It is Craig Goodwin! Oh, absolutely sensational goal from Craig Goodwin, who continues his remarkable cup record. 4 goals in 4 games this year. And he was the man Sydney FC wanted in sky blue this season. What a howitzer! What a goal!
Well, this is as good as you'll see. Craig Goodwin has shot the lights out here at Cooper Stadium. That's a ripper, and Adelaide won clear. Great effort from Redmayne, but he can do nothing. It's a fizzer from Craig Goodwin.
And there is no more popular goal scorer in these parts than Craig Goodwin. The local boy, back for his second spell with the club, and he's on fire in this competition. What a hit. How to make a dead ball come alive. And listen to the noise around Cooper Stadium now.
Well, the goal was very, very timely after their impressive start. Sydney have had the better of things the last 10 minutes, and then a couple of breakaways, the second of which has resulted in the free kick. And they've got their noses clear, Adelaide. According to Marco Kurtz's estimation, they'll need at least one more from here on in to remain competitive. But it's a great start, and what a goal that was.
It's left short by Elsie. Izzo comes out. Contact on Brosk. Penalty kick. A horror moment for Jordan Elsie, who left his back pass short. Izzo had to try and rescue the situation, and within the blink of an eye, Sydney FC had the opportunity to get back square. High drama in the cup final.
Well, Jordan Elsie is such a composed player, and he knew he was cooked. He tried to take out Alex Brosk. There can be no complaints about the free kick. Izzo has completely gone through the space that Alex Brosk would have taken if he hasn't taken much of Brosk directly. It's clearly a penalty, A yellow card is unavoidable as well. And it hasn't taken long for Sydney to have the opportunity to put Adelaide back in their box.
Well, Adam Lafondra blasted home a spot kick in the semi against the Wanderers. Here he goes. Goes for power again. He is unerring from 11 metres. It is 1-1, and Lafondra maintains his record of having scored in every game he's played in for Sydney FC.
Certainly resets the game. I mean, you hate to see players on big stages make errors, but that's exactly what Elsie did, and that's exactly what Lafondra didn't do. Izzo goes the right way, but there's too much power on the spot kick.
Punch of the air from Steve Corica. And Sydney weren't behind for long. Another sausage roll, as he calls it, for Adam Lafondra. Paul Izzo booked for that challenge on Alex Brosk. Of course, he wasn't shown a red by Jared Gillett because it's deemed to be a football challenge. Those are the new rulings. So Izzo stays on. In the old days, he might have walked, even though Brosk's touch was forcing him a little wide. Lafondra maybe went slightly over the top of the ball. It's all Sydney at the moment, but it's a little wayward from Josh Belante. And you can barely hear yourself think inside Cooper's Stadium. It's great stuff.
It is. It's been a really good cup final. Just a third of the way through. If it stays at normal time, a long way from that calculation. Adelaide got themselves clear, just they'd be kicking themselves on.
Weren't they just? And Lafondra doesn't seem to do placement from penalties, does he? Power.
He's a great pickup, huh? Played in all the league levels professionally in England. You watch his movement, how sprightly he is. A player of Premier League pedigree, how he ended up in League Two at the time that he did.
Brendan O'Neill with Sydney's first corner. Helped on towards Van der Linden, who will keep it alive. Test for Izzo. Oh, stretching, wasn't he? That was fingernail stuff.
You could see that one just squirting out, couldn't you?
Well, amidst all the excitement, didn't mention that, of course, that's the first goal Adelaide have conceded in this year's Cup run in nearly 6.5 hours of football. Here's Goodwin. Goodwin! Oh! Redmayne seemed composed enough and confident enough that it was always going wide.
But the value of shooting from distance, obviously buoyed by his stunning free kick, but Sydney won't be able to drop back and just allow people to play in front. They're going to have to leave the line and put pressure on Goodwin, and that's the message to Isaias as well. Just have a couple of shots from distance, just to break up the Sydney defensive line.
Stepping into Ninkovic, he said it was accidental.
I actually think that's a foul by Ninkovic.
You can hear what Marco Kurtz thinks of it. He falls like a kid.
Well, we just had the end of that, which certainly condemned Michael Moroney, but the original contact I thought was what skewed the momentum of both players. And major talking point, but I did think it was Ninkovic who initiated that.
Here's Ninkovic. Oh, that's certainly a foul by Moroney, and he's not going to get away with that one. He's going into the book. And there's a little bit of push and shove involving Isaias and Zullo, which is none too friendly. And Jared Gillett issues a yellow card to the Adelaide captain. Will he take action over Zullo as well?
It's a bruising tackle, that, from Michael Moroney. Such a placid nature as Moroney, but you wouldn't know it looking at that challenge.
Still the war of words goes on between Isaias and Zullo as we confirm that booking for Moroney. In such hot water, of course, after last year's final. after ball boy gates against Sydney FC. Yeah, there's the yellow card for Zullo as well. It's typical cup final action. Is it going to be teed up for Brillante, I wonder? Oh no, this is a trading ground move on Zullo. But there was a foul off the ball by Milos Ninkovic.
You've got to get up early to beat Jared Gillett.
Lights on, blue skies, capacity crowd, cup final, talking points, penalties, goals. Where would you rather be on a Tuesday night? Ninkovic sees it out towards Lafondra. 3 in the box for Sydney. It's a good header away by Jakobsen, under pressure too. As is Goodwin here. Stolen by Ryan Grant. Ryan Grant just trying to scoop it, and Izzo was scrambling away to his left. And Adelaide have got another injury concern over Mirko Boland. It's under half a minute left. Yeah, 2 additional at the end of the first half. Maybe time for one more opportunity to be created. Here's Grant looking to provide it for Sydney. Angles it across, and it flicks off the head of Michael Moroney. And it'll be a corner for Sydney FC to round out the first period.
Yeah, it's really experienced defending that by Michael Moroney. You know, a younger player with less games under his belt might have thought, you know what, I'm going to be right to watch this one go, because they would have, without that experience, lost the track of Lafondra. But Moroney knew exactly where he was, and he lurked with the Sydney striker. So Moroney intervened, conceded the corner,
which Van der Linden will take. It's a good header away by Jakobsen, and that will do for a rip-roaring first half of the 5th FFA Cup final. Craig Goodwin with a beautiful free kick to give Adelaide the lead, but it only lasted a couple of minutes. Paul Izzo trying to rescue a situation. He was put in by Jordan Elsey, upending Alex Brosk, and Adam Lafondra thumped home the spot kick. The destiny of the trophy still very much in the balance. What a second half this should be, though. At the break, Adelaide United 1, Sydney FC 1. And a blast on Jared Gillett's whistle. Gets us back going again. And the message from the neutral, I'm sure, Andy Harper, is can we have more of the same, please, the next 3/4 of an hour?
Yeah, I've got very little doubt that the players will pick up where they left off. Half-time, it was a really good first half of the cup final. Adelaide with more work to do tactically. We keep coming up for Sydney. They'll have to be on their mettle. I don't think they defended with the conviction I would have expected Adelaide. From these sorts of situations, just a little bit shaky. Let's see if they can put some real focus back in this defensive effort.
Sydney have got a free kick, courtesy of the push by Craig Goodwin, which Van der Linden fires in towards that near post, met by Boland. Back in by Brillante. Lafondra just waiting for it to drop. Ninkovic just had a little nibble to try and get the ball, but couldn't do so. Adelaide will bring it forward instead through Isaias, just punches it down the line, looking for the pace of Ben Halloran, seen out by Van der Linden. All part of the learning process for a young player. Great for them to play in these sorts of occasions. Jakobsen, who's seen it all and got the T-shirt. Sliding in Grant on Galloway. And had a bit of a nibble out at Scott Galloway. Real scrap for the ball on this near touchline. Ryan Grant has been penalised. Again, there's some push and shove. This time involving Vinny Lear and Ryan Grant, and Jared Gillett again has to be cool and composed.
This will be a free kick for Sydney, which is it's good. That's just good pressure. So too with that, from Ryan Grant, he didn't push until then with Vince Lear.
It was actually a foul by Lear on his own player,
yeah,
wasn't it?
It's great pressure from Sydney. Real focus and intent, tigerish stuff. And I think we heard very briefly from Marco Kurtz, but that's what he wants his players to do as well.
just waited for the ball to come onto him, and there wasn't an awful lot of pace on it from Wilkinson. Redmayne hurried along by Boland, and Adelaide could profit here. Ryan Strain bowled over by Brandon O'Neill. Booking for the Sydney FC defensive midfielder. He's going to have to watch his step now.
Well, 3 yellows for Adelaide. That's the second for Sydney. Ryan Strain just holding his shoulder, fell heavily. Clear foul and yellow card. A little burst from Strain.
There was a bit of a push from Ninkovic, but O'Neill just completed the job, didn't he? Now, I wonder if Craig Goodwin fancies chancing his arm again. It's a little bit further out, a little bit wider this time. But he's perfectly capable. And those Reds fans behind the goal will be sucking the ball into the back of the net if they possibly can. All eyes on Craig Goodwin. It is Goodwin! Oh, goodness me! That can't have been far off.
Well, he gave it some. Wow, wow! That is such a good effort from that angle. Wicked curl.
It might have just even shaved the outside of the post. Isaias, strong play. Still Isaias. Punches it out towards Goodwin. Adelaide threatening. Hung up to the back post, and Van der Linden gets it out of harm's way. Really important header for Sydney FC.
Well, he is cucumber cool, is Van der Linden. This is really nice from Craig Goodwin. That's a really teasing one. And you know, Halloran bearing down, must have fancied himself here. You think, I'm going to get to this one. Van der Linden, great composure. He is really good in that last line.
The Adelaide crowd rise again. Their team look to restore their lead. Goodwin's corner towards the near post. Morone trying the acrobatic effort. They get another corner.
Well, good pressure. Good crescendo at the Pickard end of the ground.
There's really no better venue than when it's full than this joint. And it certainly is tonight. Goodwin again. Deeper this time. Easy claim for Redmayne. Andrew Redmayne, who was part of that Western Sydney Wanderers team beaten by Adelaide at Adelaide Oval in 2016. Maybe a little bit of revenge on his mind. Almost an hour played in the City of Churches. A game that so far lived up to its billing. O'Neill. Morone spotted it. Zullo gets the cross in. Touched by Brosk. Ninkovic! Good save, Izzo at the near post. Had to get down smartly. Did so.
Well, this is where Sydney so often catch teams. There's moments of brilliance. Brosk to Ninkovic, that is sublime. Outstanding keeping from Izzo. And just when you think you've matched it for Sydney, they flip that magic switch. Izzo was up to it.
Van der Linden's corner off the head of Ryan Strain. Craig Goodwin. Boland. Took a tumble. Sydney FC don't agree with that decision, particularly their bench. Ufuk Tale has a few choice words to say to the fourth official, Matt Creed. Down goes Boland again, and they think that's 2 dives, Sydney. But Brosk is going to be spoken to, maybe Boland as well. What was your take on those two little incidents, Andy?
Well, Alex Brosk is, by his actions, you can tell he knows he's guilty on this one.
Yeah, that's clear.
Yeah.
President, we talked about Ken Ilso, Andy, and he's going to be the man to whom they turn. Our mail list is it's going to be Vinny Leah to be withdrawn, so a real attacking change about to be made by Marco Kurtz. And the intensity shows no sign of abating.
That's terrific, isn't it?
That might be Vinny Leah's last contribution. Man bun or mullet arms? What's your choice?
I wish I had one.
Well, you don't really have one. Here's a chance. Lafondra! Oh, that was a stinging drive. Straight into the midriff of Paul Izzo. Either side of him, you fancy that might have been 2-1.
Yeah, and Adelaide looked to me like they were waiting for a free kick. I'm not quite sure why. I may be mistaken, but they did seem to stop. It was a great strike, nice and clean.
There it is again. It was too hot to handle for Paul Izzo. Here's Moroni. Isaias works it out towards Galloway. Back by Goodwin for Boland. Boland finds the space for the cross. It's a weak clearance. Halloran attempted 1-2 with Ryan Strain, and then Strain goes down in the box under the weight of Van der Linden's challenge, and Jared Gillett says corner. And so wonderfully noisy. 7-3 the corner count for the Reds. Taken short. Worked back not particularly effectively for Goodwin, but he creates the angle. Back post. Ken Ilso flashes across the face of Redmayne's goal. And everybody stood and watched for a split second. It will be another corner for the Reds.
Well, it just wouldn't sit for the Dane. Redmayne held his feet beautifully. Cross comes in to the back stick. Takes it down nicely. That's not easy to do. Redmayne with a good shoulder. A really important shoulder from the Sydney keeper.
The whole ground on their feet. Near post delivery by Goodwin. Brillante's there. Another go. Really good pressure by the Reds. Sydney standing firm for now. Well, this is great cup final theatre. Tap short this time. Change of angle. Ryan Strain. Oh, there was indecision there. Redmayne didn't know whether to stick or twist, and Brosk took control as a captain should and put it behind.
Well, already he's barely touched the ball, Simon, but Ilso has changed the register. Look at the position he's taken up again. This is for the corner concession. Good save by Redmayne, but that ball over the top then, it was again Ilso. And Brosk is in there. Adelaide haven't had this dangerous run into the box all night. Ilso brings it.
Good change by Marco Kurtz. Again, tap short. Goodwin fires it in. And it's Van der Linden who gets it clear for Sydney. And now there could be a counter on. Milos Ninkovic leading the charge. He's not got a lot of help yet. Brosk is busting a gut to get into position for him. What a ball! Alex Brosk is about to make the save. Adelaide scrambling clear. What a run by Alex Brosk. And then he's committed the foul, which rather spoils that earlier good work. And he gets a booking for his troubles, which he doesn't appreciate. But at 35, what a run by Brosk to give Ninkovic an option. We've seen Danny De Silva being given some instructions by Wilfred Talley, the assistant coach of Sydney FC. Might not be too long before we see him. There we are. Meantime, here's Galloway, slings it in. Halloran, Goodwin! Oh my goodness! That is a stunning goal, this time with the right foot of Craig Goodwin. A double to Sabre. 2 goals of the very highest quality. And Adelaide United perhaps have one hand on the FFA Cup. Brilliant.
Well, you know Craig Goodwin's in a purple patch of form. when he's scoring goals like this with his right foot. A meaningful contribution from Ben Halloran. The centre-forward laying the ball off to the on-running Craig Goodwin, who says to Sydney FC, have a piece of this. It's a stunning finish to complete a stunning brace from Craig Goodwin.
He even gives us the Usain Bolt lightning bolt. 5 goals in this year's FFA Cup. He's the top scorer in this year's competition, ahead of Sydney's Trent Bahagia. And his 2 tonight have been absolute beauties. There was just a slight suggestion as to whether Ben Halloran was offside in the first instance. Certainly Van der Linden appeal. No VAR, of course. Well, they're literally bouncing off the walls here at Cooper Stadium. This is what cup finals are all about. This is what football is all about. Retrieved by Grant on halfway, still everybody forward for Sydney. Good win in the air by Moroney. Now Adelaide looking for the counter to finish things off. Halloran back for Boland. They're screaming for it to be played to Goodwin as he tries to steal it on the blind side of Grant, and very nearly did. And here's De Silva. The presence of Galloway was enough to force the turnover. Boland. Galloway, clever play. Goodwin onside. And that's where they'll stay for the moment. Locked in that little corner. Oh, Goodwin's come away with the ball. How on earth? And then just a tired-looking effort at the end from Craig Goodwin. How did he get out of that little hole?
Well, very smart play. He had a smart play on the back post. It was Ben Halloran, once he's outfoxed the Sydney players, stayed in the context.
I think that was a double nutmeg.
And maybe he was trying to find Halloran. Look at Ben Halloran angling to the back stick. Would have been an open goal. He could have got him the ball.
Unless we're going to have some late drama here. Lokalingo. Grant. De Silva. Grant and O'Neill. Decent area. It's going to be another corner for Sydney FC.
Yeah, nice ball from O'Neill. Good run from Lokalingo. Great defending from Jakobsen.
A spate of late corners for the visitors, and all the air is momentarily sucked out of Cooper Stadium. A few fingernails being bitten by those in red. Van der Linden, same sort of area. Off the frame of the goal. And Sydney FC were that close, potentially, to taking it to extra time. Michael Zullo, I think it was. Back in by Van der Linden. O'Neill's got to make this, and does. Michael Zullo with his weaker right foot only succeeds in putting it up into the air. Ninkovic. Tied up by Moroney. And the throw-in almost as good as a goal at the moment. 5 minutes of stoppage time to be played. Also trying to protect the ball. That's paramount now for Adelaide. Moroney. Still going. Michael Moroney. Van der Linden says enough. Sydney FC desperate to get the ball and get it up the other end of the pitch. Ryan Strain heads for the corner. And it comes off Zullo.
Really measured play from Adelaide. Young Ryan Strain getting the crowd going. And it's been a fantastic crowd. They've contributed enormously to what's been a thrilling occasion.
Everybody on the edge of their seats. Waiting for confirmation from Jared Gillett. There it is! The Reds have done it! Adelaide United become the first club to win the FFA Cup twice on a raucous and emotional night at Cooper Stadium. The Reds give Marco Kurtz his first trophy as coach. Pete van der Poel, his first trophy as chairman. Sydney FC beaten in the final for the second time in 3 years, but it's joy for the Reds and revenge for last year's loss to the same opposition. And it was all thanks to two cracking strikes from that man there, Craig Goodwin. What a performance. What an occasion it was. Adelaide United are the FFA Cup winners for 2018.